This grammar drill will review the basic and finer points of punctuation and capitalization you have either forgotten or never learned. The semicolon acts almost as a period between two independent thoughts. Take only indispensable items, semicolon. Leave behind all heavy and bulky things. This is what your sentence will look like. To get the answer, look for the independent clauses and think about how you'll punctuate them. Did you remember to put the semicolon between the two independent clauses? If so, good for you. Independent clauses are the equivalent of two short, simple sentences. The list below contains all the words that essentially could start a new sentence. Do you understand how to use the semicolon, the conjunctive adverb, and then a comma? Let's look at this example. Holiday traffic has always been a menace to safety, can stand alone as a sentence and end with a period. On 1/4 of July, 400 people were killed in accidents can also be a sentence, but the conjunctive adverb, for instance, connect the two related ideas and is a more sophisticated way of expressing a thought. Let's try the next one. This rule often applies to a list. Four people are mentioned and what they do. Does this explanation help? Don't get confused. This is just like the example before. Did you see who met and what each person did? Now it's your turn to do a little extra practice. Do you understand how to use a colon before a list? The next three uses of the colon are something you have learned long ago. Did you remember this? This use of the colon is only in a formal business letter. Now it's your turn to do a little more practice. A comma before the end in a series is optional but is used for clarity. This use of the comma is often overlooked. Did you know this rule? Using a comma before a coordinating conjunction in two simple sentences results in a compound sentence. Non-essential clauses can be left out of a sentence without hurting its meaning. In the first example, you can eliminate the introductory word without affecting the meaning. Notice that the word which comes immediately after the comma is running down the street. The third rule is self-explanatory. However, the fourth rule is tricky. Think of someone entering a room and saying to you, "Because it is raining." You would have questions about this group of words because it is not a complete thought. Also, if you can drop the first word, which is a subordinating conjunction, you will have the simple sentence, "It is raining." Look at the three instances cited here. Most people use the first and second examples correctly, but often forget the comma before junior, senior, or PhD. Once again, it's your turn to practice. Notice how the rule is applied here. Both 6-year-old and 4th graders are considered single nouns. Most word processing programs will do this automatically. Be aware that when you start a sentence with a number, you write it out. Do a bit more practice and then look at your latest assignment for editing. The key to correct use of apostrophes is asking yourself whether or not the word immediately following the word with an apostrophe really belongs to it. Look at the examples below. The concept here is exactly the same as in the previous slide, but an irregular noun does not add an S to make it plural. Plural possessives show more than one person owns the item named in the word following the one with an apostrophe. The major thing to remember about irregular nouns is to make them plural before making them possessive. So man becomes men and woman becomes women before you add apostrophe S to make the word possessive. Notice you can add either a simple apostrophe or an apostrophe S to a noun ending in S to make it possessive. Never add apostrophes to personal pronouns because they are already possessive. Contractions are shortened form of two words and are not used in formal writing. Practice using apostrophes in the drill and then look at your latest assignment for editing. This is a rule you probably learned in elementary school. These are rules you learned in elementary school. The only pitfall here is falling into the substandard text messaging syndrome. A proper noun names a particular thing. People whose first language is not English may make an error with this rule because specific languages and nationalities may not be capitalized. The name of a specific course, such as Psychology 101, is capitalized. However, a subject area such as math or science is not. Full-length publications are proper nouns. Capitalization of days of the week and months of the year, like languages and nationalities, may pose problems for non-native speakers of English. Note especially that seasons are not capitalized. Holidays are specific days of the year and therefore proper nouns. Many religious terms are capitalized, as illustrated in these examples. Historical periods are proper nouns also. Generally, people get the salutation right, but many forget not to capitalize the second word of the closing. Each of these hyphenated words contains a proper noun. These acronyms all stand for proper nouns in the name of a particular law, governmental agency, or specific company. After practicing grammar rules, go back and look at your latest assignment for editing.